Do you remember? Sri Lanka's Attorney General's department said the MV Express Pearls insurers have approved the interim compensation of over $1.3 million. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka has taken legal action by filing a case in the Singapore court where Sri Lanka is seeking compensation for the damage caused to the country's marine ecosystem due to the maritime disaster.
This is not a new offer, nor it is a victory from the Singapore lawsuit. It's the result of pre-existing discussions. The compensation amount and the government's beach cleanup costs were already established. Details of the promised compensation from the shipping company or insurer and the amount requested by the government remain undisclosed. Following the Singapore lawsuit, the government should disclose this information.
Do you remember? 2 years and 11 months have passed since the MV Express Pearl sank in the sea of Sri Lanka. The Express Pearl's 81 containers of hazardous materials and 25 tons of nitric acid were completely destroyed in the fire, causing severe damage to the sea of Sri Lanka. It was later revealed that the Express Pearl had been rejected by several ports due to a chemical leak. However, Sri Lankan authorities, unable to manage the situation, allowed the vessel to enter port facilities outside Colombo without properly assessing the potential destruction. The Express Pearl burned with chemicals for days before finally sinking in the sea of Sri Lanka. This resulted in a significant amount of debris, including plastic noodles released from the burning ship, littering Sri Lankan shores. Do you remember the hundreds of sea creatures, including turtles, whales and dolphins, that died and washed ashore? Do you remember? Foreign media labeled this incident as one of the most serious maritime disasters in the 21st century. Newsfirst stressed the importance of obtaining proper scientific samples and data to assess the full extent of the damage. Newsfirst argued that while the environmental destruction is priceless, fair compensation should still be sought. Estimates suggest that compensation for this disaster could exceed $6.4 billion. However, so far Sri Lanka has only received $10 million in compensation. In 2010, the Deepwater Horizon oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico caused severe environmental damage. The United States successfully pursued criminal charges against British Petroleum and secured a $4 billion compensation. Similarly, following the Suez Canal blockage caused by the grounded cargo ship, Egypt demanded $550 million in compensation from the ship's owner. These examples highlight the potential consequences of environmental damage. But what did Sri Lankan authorities do? In Sri Lanka's case, some officials attributed the sea turtle deaths to unrelated causes, hindering efforts to secure fair compensation. Due to this underwhelming response from politicians and some officials, the right to fair compensation remains unconfirmed. The public continues to remain confused about this situation.